Coming up on this week's episode of Unpicked.
This Mizzy thing, he's forcing me to say things about the country we live in that I wouldn't normally
Yeah.
I don't remember people feeling sorry for the wife, and
there was no remorse for the wife.
It was just, oh wow, so
it was like, yes, you know,
good for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm being cheeky calling it a willy.
I know. I was thinking not the willy, and you're asking, do men even like women?
Do men even like women? Do they actually like us?
Wagwan peeps, it's Venom, what you saying? Alongside my home slice, Dami to the Zane. When she and I get together on the poddy, ask anybody, the vibes are insane.
Join our family and feel free to come by. We on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Yeah.
New drop on the way every Monday at 6.
Tune in and come see what we unpick.
Well, guys, let's just say that we've been in here for over an hour, and then we realised that one of us wasn't recording. Won't say who.
Oops.
But hey, hello, hi, peeps. It's your home slice, Dami Zane in the building, and I'm here with my co-host, Venom.
Hello.
Yes. So we've got a good one for you today.
Yeah.
This is take two.
Take two.
This is take two. So hopefully the sauce is saucy, just like the first time we did it. But yeah, real quick, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah, very well. This is gonna be so quick because
It's fine.
I know this already, but
It's
yeah, good week. Went to the podcast show. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Got to see loads of other creatives. Got to just get good insight into this industry.
Yeah.
Which was a lot of fun. And then I got to see my nephew, who I haven't seen very many times, and he's alert and very much understanding who I am and
responsive.
ready to have a good time. So that was really nice as
Fun.
well.
Yeah.
How about yourself?
Yeah. Let's just say that some poor decisions tried to bite me in the ass this week, but all is well. But the week ended really well, and hopefully the rest of the year will be stable, because you know the whole of 2023 has been higgy hagga for me so far. So hopefully now,
Smooth sailing.
smooth flatline.
Not flatline, but smooth. We're hoping for smooth sailing.
Smooth. Yeah, man. Thank you for coming through. Thank you to our new subscribers. Thank you to our old subscribers. And thank you if you're new here and you've just seen us for the first time. Hopefully you stay and subscribe. Our QR code for our Instagram is on the screen right now. And we're just going to get straight into it because, you know.
Already did icebreakers. Already did have like.
Don't do it again.
Can't do it again.
Don't do it again.
She knows the answers. I know the answers.
Well, I've got this or that for you. So what
cool.
we'll do is we'll do mine. Yeah?
Yeah, we'll do this one.
All right, so really simple. Bad breath or bad body odor? Which one do you prefer? Which one could you stomach?
Which one could I stomach more? Body odor.
Would you want to be the smartest person in the world or the richest person in the world?
Smartest.
Okay, and would you like a big family or a small family?
By family, do you mean children below me? Circumstantial. I would really like one boy, one girl.
Okay.
As a minimum.
Okay.
After that point, it's just banter.
It's whatever.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I still want to do the game that you showed me though.
Yeah, I know.
Let's do that. Let's do it, because I got all the answers right anyway.
Yeah, you did technically. You did. So when I was on the socials this week, I saw that a artist used AI to make a whole load of American celebrities or music people into older versions of themselves, old age pensioners.
Okay.
So it's just a game of guessing who's who.
All right, let's do this.
All right. So here is the first one.
Beyonce. Jay-Z. Cardi B. I'm sorry. It's just Cardi B.
I like Cardi. Anyway.
Kanye West, obviously.
I know. They didn't do a good job with
Babe.
Kanye.
Nicki Minaj. She looks cute.
I found Nicki too cute.
Yeah.
I don't think Nicki would look this
No,
good.
she wouldn't look cute. Wait a minute. Kendrick.
She lost in the sauce though.
Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lil Wayne. Usher.
This is what I said, but Nelson Mandela.
J. Cole.
Kendrick.
Kendrick.
Do you know I thought this one looked more like Cosby?
I thought I originally thought Snoop.
Yeah. I don't
but
see Snoop, but I see Cosby.
I see Snoop. It's in here.
Do you see Cosby though?
A little bit, yeah.
That's all I see.
Another one.
Yeah.
DJ Khaled.
DJ Khaled indeed.
Still no Drake. That kind of upsets me, but
yeah,
I need to find a Drake one.
No,
I reckon he still look handsome.
They said he was already old and washed. That's the reason why they didn't include him in this.
You're old and washed. Coming for my boo. Mizzy Mezop.
Mr. Mezop. Yeah, Mizzy.
Mr. Mezop.
The TikToker.
Let's give our international peoples
the rundown of who Mizzy is.
Who he is, yeah.
So Mizzy is a TikToker who's 18 years old now, and he's a prankster. That's his thing. He runs around, he steals people's dogs, obviously gives it back. What else has he done? Taken someone's McDonald's,
and
just
then grabbed their food out of their hand.
More famously, walked into someone's home after being asked not to. There was a lady outside who was doing some kind of gardening work or something outside the front of the house.
Yeah.
He walked up the stairs with two friends into the property. Her husband was inside. She was calling to the husband. The husband asked him to leave. He didn't leave. He then went and sat on the couch, still filming, creating his TikTok content, and then they left eventually, which led to him then being arrested.
Well, they were looking for him, and then there was all of that. Where is Mizzy? Where's Mizzy? And then he turned himself in. That was also content because he went in with his boys and they were singing and making a mockery of the police and all that business. Yeah. He got fined.
Yeah.
Since then,
in the hundreds. So
yeah, not even a lot. But I mean, depends.
I mean, the most hundreds can be 900.
I know, but to us that might be nothing, but to them it might be a lot. But then he's gone viral, so maybe I don't know. And then also he's been interviewed now by Piers Morgan, so he's been given some clout on the TV shows. And then also, I think TikTok banned his account, but I don't know if it's still running, if he's got it back now, or I don't know what the details
I think
are about
I think his accounts were disabled on TikTok and maybe Twitter or some other social media, probably not Twitter actually.
No, not
based
Twitter.
on how Twitter now works,
yeah.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
So the Mizzy thing is really annoying because it's like a really selfish pursuit of fame and fortune or notoriety or whatever, but it has a very public and black facing result.
Yeah.
Which is negative.
Yeah.
So it's annoying because it's like one person from a community tarnishing the whole community because they want whatever it is they think they want.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of discourse about it online and a lot of I wouldn't say a lot, I'm over quantifying it, but I've seen some black women or some black guys try to blame the government or try to blame the fact that we don't have youth clubs anymore and things like that. And they don't like the idea of, they believe, because Mezzy was saying it's because he's a black guy.
Yeah,
that's the reason why.
Piers Morgan interview, yeah.
That's why he's been treated that way. And Piers was like, no, it's just because you're a delinquent. If it was a white boy that was behaving this way, I would say the same thing. So a lot of, again, I shouldn't say a lot, people online are supporting Mezzy and saying, yeah, it's because he's black, it's, and
yeah, no, it's
definitely
not that.
To me, I just think that I agree for once with Piers. He's just being a delinquent and I don't see the benefit of him behaving this way, and it's embarrassing.
It's definitely embarrassing.
It's embarrassing.
It's definitely embarrassing.
I strongly believe that black people, we need to move away from blaming everybody else for our behaviour. I'm aware that there's trauma. I'm aware that things that the government or the state of which we live in do in the Western world, that does affect us. However, we need to take control of our own lives and stop blaming other people. We live in a country where they give us, I can't believe that. Do you know what is annoying me about the situation? Yeah, let me be frank. Yeah, this Mezzy thing, he's forcing me to say things about the country we live in that I wouldn't normally
Yeah,
want to say.
yeah.
So like they give us free education. I hate the fact that I'm a black woman sitting here saying they give you education, they give you this. I don't want to be able to say that, but you've given me reason to because of your stupid behavior. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like young men, young women, I'm not saying that you're not traumatized. I'm not saying that you've not been through things that make things harder for you to come out the other side. But don't choose this route. Because you're not helping the next ones to come along. You're making it worse. You're making us look worse. They've made we're now like you've made yourself like a circus freak now. Like you're something to watch and laugh at and talk about for the fact that you're even on a Piers Morgan interview.
I think the fact that he's even given that platform is so wild.
Yeah, but
that's the only part that that's the only part that I
into...
agree with him about in terms of it's because I'm black. I think it's only because he's black that he's been given a platform to speak on Piers Morgan doing that kind of stupidness.
And he's feeding into the narrative that some Caucasian people want to have about us. Do you get it? And so like they don't get to see the educated people enough. They don't get to see people with sense enough. But it's someone like him that you want to go and put on your show.
On Piers Morgan, you know.
And we can't even blame Piers and co. You started it because you were the one that was acting a fool on TikTok for the follows. And you don't realise the impact of what you're doing.
Yeah.
And the severity of it. So it's like, it's stupid. It's very stupid. It's very irritating.
It is. But I feel like you're going to see a lot more people pursuing these viral like career paths or trying to carve out these viral career paths that literally have no real regard for their effect on the community and their effect on others, because he is a child that's sort of born off of the generation of this being normal, like TikTok being a norm, and you know what I mean, all that all that media space and how people behave. Like we've seen the change, so we can identify it, but it also is strange, whereas to them that's normal. Like doing this random things for follows or acquiring follows is normal. It's not something that you grew up and then you started desiring. It's just what was there. In
fact, going viral and having some sort of being some sort of influencer or personality on social media, no real talent, no real I'm acting, I'm singing, I'm rapping, I'm a poet, I'm a person that is known online, has become a career in of itself that for some reason it seems like everybody's aspiring to do, whether it be as their main job or as a side hustle. So I get that, but there's other ways.
Of course.
There's other ways. I saw a young black girl, use AI to build her life on social media, to build a social media career. She's using AI to plan and book events. To create events. She's using AI to reach out to vendors, to reach out to other people to join and like collab with her and stuff like that. That's someone using the resources that's available today to do something that is not antisocial behavior, that is not irritating and embarrassing behavior, but she's using what is out there in a positive way. Yeah. Do you get it? And now she's even gone because now once you've been able to do something once and people want to copy you, now all of a sudden you can do an ebook, an e-learning course. Now she's doing up, and this is how I use AI.
This is how I did it.
And she's going to make money from that as well. Why don't you use your gumption and your brain to do something like that instead of walking into somebody's house?
Yeah, but you can tell he doesn't have the intellect to do something of any substance. Like his whole thing is no substance.
Could, and the funny thing is, there'll be people out there that think he's mad smart.
Because
he's mad smart. And I mean, there's even studies to show that the smartest people end up behaving that way because the way that they think is not the same way as everybody else. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, I'm not gonna insinuate that you don't have the gumption or the brain to do something different. I'm saying channel that into something that's different. Don't channel it into this. It's because he's young. And it's funny, and he's getting the attention.
He's getting the attention that he wants, so he's feeling validated.
Yeah, exactly. Phillip Schofield.
Wow. Do you want to do the intro for Phillip?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to do the intro for Phillip. Let me tell you people about Phillip. This is some tea. Real quick, trigger warning, because...
Everything. If you're triggered about anything...
Trigger warning.
Anything at all.
There's essay in here. There's child in here. It's all in there, innit?
Yeah.
Phillip Schofield is a renowned and was respected TV host of a breakfast show in the UK for one of the biggest UK channels, ITV. He's been working on This Morning for at least a decade with his co-host Holly Willoughby. I am
99.9% sure that
I don't know if the surname's Wallaby. What? I don't know if it's Wallaby, but I know her first name is Holly. So I'm just going to call her Holly because I think
Let's
there's
do that,
another Holly
yeah.
Wallaby.
Let's do Holly.
Just say Holly, right? Cool. A few years back, they did a episode where he came out on the show. He was married. He's got kids. He came out. She interviewed him and he said, listen, I'm gay. You know, I've been gay most of my life. Now I feel like I'm in a place where I can reveal that. The whole of the majority of the British nation commended him for it. They said he was brave for coming out, blah, blah, blah. Forgetting the fact that he cheated on his wife. They put that to the side because he came out. So, you know. So they were seen in good sights by the majority of the British public that watched This Morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then, after that, there was some pasa because his brother got convicted for paedophilic behaviour. Let's just put it like that, right? Phillip says that he's disowning his brother. If he'd known about it, he would never support his brother. Then, more recently, there was like people noticed friction between him and Holly on the show, and then he resigns. That's how it looks.
Yeah.
Let's dig deep. Beneath all of that, it came out that he was in a relationship with a young man that was working on the show. This young man he brought onto the show, right? People found out, you know, Google is free, like I always say. People found out that he was may have been involved with this boy because Phillip was involved in a lot of like visiting schools and working with schools and young people charities and stuff like that. And there's pictures of Phillip with this boy. There's also pictures of Phillip with this boy out to eat on their own and stuff like that. So people started speculating that he was grooming this boy. He was in a relationship with this boy from young. And so some untoward behaviour going on there. Since resigning, Phillip gave a statement basically saying that he doesn't want to reveal who the young boy is, but this is his situation. Try to play it like it's not that. So basically trying to address everyone's allegations. We've now also had another presenter from ITV,
Eamon
Holmes, who has alleged that at least 4 big bosses at ITV knew about it.
Or had to have known.
And were helping him cover it up. So, you know, another British media body
Covering up the
criminal activities from middle-aged to old white men within their establishment. What are you saying? What do you think?
Well, I mean, Phillip, like we've said before, we didn't know he was straight. until he came out as gay.
I never thought he was straight.
We're like, huh?
Yeah.
I was confused. But then as that whole story, the original coming out story started to pan out, it became clear that maybe someone had forced his hand.
Well, that's what they're saying, innit? They're saying that the guy that he was involved with blackmailed him, innit?
And said, I'm going to let the people
know.
Or I need to speak my truth. One of the two. But yeah, and then when his brother went to court and all of this stuff started coming out about his brother being a paedophile, which he's now been found guilty of. But I didn't doubt it. To be fair, as soon as his brother was accused, I just put 2 and 2 together and I said, listen, I've already had my doubts about your brother Phillip, so I'm just...
So when you heard about the brother and the alleged, did you just assume... Are you saying that you assume that the brother definitely did it? Or are you
I
saying
assumed that the brother was guilty because I already had doubts of Phillip.
See, with me, when I heard about the brother, I just thought, Phillip must be the same.
Right, because I already knew about that
Yeah, and that's why.
story,
And that's why I thought Phillip must be the same.
I said, you guys, you're one and the same. You're
Dodgy.
truly brothers.
Yeah, you're dodgy.
You're brothers.
You're dodgy.
So
I think Holly knew about it. I think that it's interesting how the British public behaved, because he came out, but he also came out to say, yeah, I'm gay. I am married, but I'm gay.
Yeah, I'm like, how do you know
So
you're
that
gay?
means you cheated on your wife.
Yeah.
No?
Because how do
And
you know
and your
you're
kids.
gay?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you might have feelings, you know what I mean, that way.
Yeah.
But until you validate them.
And I don't remember people feeling sorry for the wife, and
there was no remorse for the wife.
It was just, oh wow, so
it was
brave.
like, yes, you know.
Good for you.
Mm-hmm. But you know what is weird? Well, it's not weird, right? But what I've actually not grasped, because this morning is on in my house every day.
Yeah.
Why is Holly not there? Like, now that he's gone, why is she? She's not. It's not her and somebody else.
Yeah, but it's because because they've been a pair. They've been. It's like you and I, and then we find out that myself or you have got some big scandal. The other person is gonna get some of that. So the other person's gonna get some of that heat, and that's what's happening. People are saying Holly must have known.
But she didn't like resign or anything.
No, so she's probably just taking a break for a little bit. She might come back, because they're talking about who might be replacing them right now, right?
Yeah, but they've had forget her name. The black woman who does the Fridays.
Yeah.
And she's from Big Brother.
Yeah.
I really can't remember her name right now. Apologies if you ever see this.
I'll put it.
But she's been there every day that I've seen it. So I kind of just assumed that she would just take the reins.
They might do that.
Because she's already there on a Friday.
But remember,
she's already like,
if Holly has known about it and she's involved, what they might do is Holly might just disappear.
Or just quiet.
Yeah, because
stay on the payroll as
just quietly, and next thing you know, she's doing something else, or come back later when everything has settled.
That's settled.
Yeah,
she's guilty by association. She's not though.
That's what I'm saying.
But you know what I'm saying, right? So imagine that was the deal with me and you, and I'll make it me so that it's not you, yeah. And you genuinely had no idea. But these times I'm out here, I'm cheating on my wife and doing a madness and stuff that's like borderline illegal, like what he's, because his thing is kind of deep. If the worst part that you can imagine is actually true, so I don't think that he would be sharing that with her, if you know what I mean. So I wouldn't expect, if I was doing that kind of stuff, that I'd be sharing that with you. Like, yeah, I'm doing absolute madness. This is even criminal. But you know,
but if I had a suspicion,
yeah,
and I didn't ask you or do anything about it, then yeah, I should take the heat.
But then, yeah, but let's assume that you had no suspicion.
I had no suspicions. I had no clue.
And then this just all blows up for me.
Okay.
And now I'm like, yeah, boom, I'm going to resign tomorrow.
Yeah.
You coming to work next week?
Wow, what would I do?
Like, they find a replacement. Like, let's say there's loads of people, we've had loads of guests, and there's people that are simple.
I would come back next week.
That's what I'm saying.
I would come back and I would say, guys, let's address the elephant in the room. And maybe the next episode would be me talking about what I do or do not know, what I think or do not think.
That's what I would do.
I think that's what I would do.
Which is why I find it weird that she's not there.
Which is why I think she knew. Tion Wayne. We spoke about you before, and we are talking about you again.
Yeah.
Those that do not know, Tion Wayne is a UK rapper. Recently, his iCloud,
old iCloud,
allegedly, because we don't know who did it or if it could have been, we don't know anything, but allegedly got hacked, and allegedly he had loads of sex tapes on there that they decided to leak with different women. He came out with a statement which I think is contradictory, because he said some of the videos weren't him, but then he also said the videos were taken years ago.
Yeah.
Like 10 years ago.
I didn't know the date, but yeah.
The focus of his statement was also, they said these are real girls, some of these girls, like, it's unfair on them, blah, blah, blah. But you know how online is, jokes have been made.
Mm-hmm.
And some girls are accusing Tion of giving us the impression that he was more endowed than he actually
I like
is.
that you used the word impression. That was actually a good poetic play on the original picture that you're referring to when you say that.
Yeah. There's a picture and you can see the print.
You can see the
Impression of a print. Something that looked like it could be a print. Right there. And some of the girls online were like saying that he owes us inches because what it isn't what it seems based on what they've seen. I just want to preface this by saying that I do not condone sharing or watching these sorts of videos because these are not that porn isn't real people, but they've consented to it. When it's someone that's not consented, it's not okay. It's illegal. So I don't condone it. So if you have these videos and you're sharing it, just stop. And also maybe not watch it.
Maybe.
I
understand why people were quick to be sharing on the girl them side, because literally I don't think I actually knew who Tion Wayne was until he came out of... It's either when he came out of prison that is the same time when this impression picture was taken or something. But definitely when this picture was taken and shared, the original one that got the girls going crazy, that's when he ended up on my timeline. And I was like, this brother makes music and I only know him because these girls are talking about inches. So I understand and I almost can believe it to be the girl them that was sharing it like crazy.
I mean, I don't know who was sharing it like crazy.
I mean, was it a man or a woman that ended it up in your DMs?
I would not be disclosing anything like that.
I could say it was a woman.
But it was on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. But Tion's trying to prove that he
does have the inches.
That he does have the capacity.
By which means?
He shared a video taking a clip from Lani Goods. Lani Good is a social media influencer here in the UK, who he was involved with back in the day.
Even though he says it's the biggest L of his life.
He says it was the biggest L. She says it was the biggest L. None of us will know the truth. But Lani just never lets him live it down because he stole a rollie from her or something like that.
Yeah.
We've talked about it before, so go back to our old episodes if you've not seen it before. But those of you that have been there, you'll remember the story, so we won't go into it. But she used to do story times on her YouTube, and before she revealed his name, she spoke about him, innit? And there's a clip from when she was talking about the first time that she saw his willy. And I'm being cheeky calling it a willy.
I know, I was thinking not the willy. But
first time she saw his willy, she said she was impressed. So Tion shared that clip to like basically clear his name.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of don't think that works.
Willy is bigger than what.
So when you said that before, I didn't think about it, but upon hearing it again, I'm now realizing that Lani was infatuated with him anyway.
She was so like...
So he could have had a micro penis and should have been like,
oh my God, it's...
Because that was the guy that she was infatuated with, so...
Yeah.
And she's the kind of person that if she's into something, she's into it.
Yeah, wholeheartedly.
So I don't think that actually does anything. Even if she said, oh my God, it was the longest thing I've ever seen. Like, from a infatuated Lani Good, I wouldn't take any words as verbatim.
I just saw it as, bro, you don't need to prove yourself to anybody. I mean, if you're saying that it wasn't you, all you had to say was, that weren't me though. You don't need to start digging videos to try and prove that it wasn't you. Do you get it? But something that I found, not to make jokes out of the situation, but there was just one tweet. I just can't get it out of my mind. I can't get it out.
So rude.
Someone said his iCloud... Someone went, man's iCloud password is
Nah.
And the reason why that's funny is because that's his ad-lib in most of his songs. That's how you identify.
That's how you identify it on the track.
Tion Wayne track.
You get that.
So someone said that was his password, and I was like, you lot are cracking jokes.
Actually taking the
absolute There's girls out there
who is having family breakdown.
I got a question for you. Not bae.
Yeah.
But imagine you was in a relationship with a woman. You didn't know that she's been with some sort of celebrity, whether it's UK, American, whatever, a rapper. And sex tapes are leaked and your bae is on there,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Interesting one. So can't name names, but following in the footsteps of somebody else, they specifically say to their partners, like, if you've been with someone like famous like that, like, you have to
can't-
let me know, like, you
Okay.
probably can't.
Really?
Yeah.
And if they said that they've been with someone that's famous like that,
Yeah.
would you be able to be with them?
Me personally, if I know,
Yeah.
yeah, but not like they were doing more sneaky link. Sorry,
Okay.
like if you're doing up
Sneak-
sneaky link with like famous people, like
Yeah.
it's enough. Because
It's
if you
a
don't
no.
put someone in the lime and you're famous, you're only gonna do nasty stuff with them anyway. No one has a sneaky link to be humble and and marital and God fearing. Like
You
have
can have a sneaky link that you do stuff with, but you're also being respectable with, but you've just decided that it's nobody else's business but mine and my sneaky link.
Nah, I'm more the kind of
If
guy.
I did a sneaky link,
Yeah.
it would still be respectable. It's just that it's no one's business. I'm a grown woman. I don't need to tell everyone that I'm sleeping with someone, and
Okay.
vice versa.
I hear that, but I'm the kind of guy that likes women who are who are being respected as women.
So having a sneaky link, are you saying that having a sneaky link means that you're not being respected as a woman?
I think it's disrespectful. I think sneaky link is a little bit disrespectful.
Have you had a sneaky link before?
No, I've dated people who have not been my like girlfriend. But I didn't nothing. There was
So you've had just sexual relationship with someone that wasn't your girlfriend.
yeah.
Were they known to everyone? Did
It
you
weren't
let
hidden from
everybody?
anyone.
But were they known to everyone?
I mean, who's everyone?
The people in your life, your friends.
People in my life at the time, yeah.
They knew about them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, oh, I'm going out with so and so. Oh yeah, I just come back from so and so.
I think that it depends on the type of sneaky link situation that you have going here. I think that who you sleep with is your business.
Of course.
You do not need to tell people that I am having a sexual relationship with someone. And if you're not telling people, that means that they are a sneaky link. There's someone you're sleeping with that nobody else knows about. But it's your business who you decide to sleep with.
Yeah, I hear that.
And that's grown people talk. I think when you're doing sneaky link, like these youngsters are doing it, that's a different ball game.
So what are the youngsters doing?
What I mean is, like, as someone in their 30s, if I'm sleeping with someone, I don't have to tell you. You're my friend. You don't need to know
Of course not,
that I'm sleeping with someone. What I do in the bedroom is between me and my friend because we're grown.
Yeah.
Do you get it? Like, it's not a game. This is just I'm not in a relationship. They're not in a relationship. We don't want a relationship. We just want a physical thing. Technically, that's a sneaky link.
Yeah.
It's sneaky. It's a link because you're not my man and I'm not your girl, and it's sneaky because no one knows about it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have the same connotation as sneaky link the way these youngsters talk about it. That's what I'm trying to say. So I think it depends on the situation, depends on maturity and all that. I don't think sneaky link, I don't like that term, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily disrespectful to the guy or the girl.
No, okay, I'm not saying it's disrespectful to them. I think
if it's I'm ashamed to have people know that I'm sleeping with you, or it's a sneaky link because you're cheating on someone, that's where there's disrespect.
Yeah.
But if it's two grown adults, don't want a relationship, are not the type of people to let people know what they're doing, they're just having fun with each other, because they're private, that's fine. I don't think that's disrespectful.
Yeah.
I think the issue, I think the reason why it might feel disrespectful is because men and women don't like the idea of women having sex with someone outside of the confinements of a relationship, because it's like, why are you doing? It's almost like it's not respectable for you to just be engaging in a sexual relationship. And I think I think it's difficult for people to grasp that women also have sexual needs. Just because she's not in a relationship doesn't mean that she should just stop having sex. Period. As long as she's doing it in a safe way.
Yeah.
So I think because most people deem women who are having casual sex as not respectable women, that's where the whole, if it's now a sneaky link type of casual sexual relationship, it's not respectable.
Yeah, no,
And
for me it's more about how someone Yeah.
Do you see what I
If
mean?
someone is famous
Mm,
and they want to engage with you, someone who's not famous,
yeah.
and they do not want to, um, it's not necessarily hail you, but like claim their relationship with you.
So are
It's
you saying it's because it's a famous person?
Yeah.
So if it wasn't a famous, but what if, okay, imagine, yeah, not that it could ever happen, I don't think, but imagine Drake and I were engaging in a sneaky link situation.
Yeah.
I'm a private woman. I might have a podcast, I might whatever, but I might not want to be publicly linked to Drake. So a sneaky link will benefit me because I get to live my normal life and I only see Drake when Drake comes to London. Or if he wants to fly me out and I'm guys, I'm in Miami on holiday, but you didn't know that I was meeting up with Drake. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. If you are two grown adults and as long as the woman is like, as well as the man is like, yo, I don't even want people to know about this.
Yeah.
I don't think that is disrespectful. So I think it depends on the circumstances surrounding the sneaky link.
Yeah,
What
hear that.
makes it.
But
is it respectful or nah?
for me, it's still a no.
Really?
If that's what Boo's doing, it doesn't matter
Or
if it's Drake.
did?
Sorry, did? Not doing. It's a no from me. It's not it's a no from me.
I also feel like, and this is something we could talk about another time, but I do feel like men, and the reason why I feel this is, let me be honest, I've spoken to some like my male friends that are married now and or in serious relationship, and I feel, and most of them have said that they don't like the idea of their woman being freaky with somebody else. The sex bit, they're not dumb. They know that she might have had sex because of the time that we live in now. Most women would have had sex already, but they're like, there's certain acts that they don't feel comfortable knowing that their wife or their woman has done with somebody else. So, and that is another reason for them why they see why men cheat, because they see it as, some men see it as, I want to keep my wife or partners pure, innocent, purer, so more vanilla sex, whereas outside I'm going to do the dirtiest, nastiest things that I want to do. I just don't want to do that to my wife because it's degrading. And that makes me question again, like, if you know it's degrading, why do you want to do it?
Yeah, but the urge is not.
Okay,
but
there's two things there. It's, the urge can be there. It could be a natural urge. Why don't you want to explore that with your wife without looking at her as, you nasty now? Why can't it bring you closer together? Can't she also have those urges? And then the other thing is, like, it's a complex one, but I would love to get into it because it's weird. I find that weird because I'm the kind of woman that's like, all the freaky stuff that I would want to do, don't care how degrading it is, I'd want to do that with my husband, not with any guy.
Of course.
Because I want to do it in the confinements of my marriage or confinements of my relationship. But you want to do.
I guess you want to do it in a space that you deem to be safe
and comfortable.
And
I also don't want there to be boundaries between us.
Yeah.
So, baby, if you want to, whatever.
But I don't think
do it.
I don't think guys necessarily have an issue with safety whilst having sex.
Yeah.
But they do have an issue with how their sexual partner is behaving. And I guess some of the more exciting or excitable sexual elements are less respectable. And you chose to be with a woman or that woman for innocence and youth and respectability. Let's say, for example, just youth. You don't expect a young person to be like some mad educated sexual
I love that
deviant.
you said that, because guys, when we recorded this the first time, I spoke about youth and young being the same, and Venom was arguing that no, youth is different. Youth is young. Do you get it?
Yeah, but I was speaking to your point.
Irrespective, you can't interchange.
No. I was speaking to your point, as in you were saying young. So I'm saying you wouldn't expect a young person to be an educated sexual deviant. That's what I was.
You wouldn't.
Yeah, but that's almost what you're gonna go for in terms of, I want a freak or something. You're expecting this person to have like knowledge or to be equipped to deal with certain things that are beyond.
But what I'm saying is, my issue with all of that is, why is it okay for you to want to or see? How can you say that you're okay? Let me be frank. How can you say that you're a respectable man? Yeah, if you say, "Oh, my woman, I can't do some of the nasty things that I'd want to do, but any other woman, I can."
Why would that make you a not respectable
I don't
man?
think that makes you
If you
respectable because it means that you don't respect women. You only respect yours. You don't respect women as a whole. But we can come back to that conversation another time because we're pressed for time. But it just makes me question it because it's like, if you respect women, period, then you wouldn't have an issue with doing those things to women, period, including your woman. But the fact that you've hierarched your woman as, oh, I've chosen her because she's more respectable, but I can do disrespectful things to other women, then you don't respect women as a whole. And you get.
Are we doing the point now?
But that's because I can see your man wondering. I'm just explaining it for now, and then maybe next week we just come back to it. Yeah.
Okay.
So I've been thinking, and you know what I'm like when I'm thinking, yeah. And I've realized that I don't have, this is me being honest, yeah. I don't think that men are nice people in general. Let me just be honest. I'm coming to realize that.
Bring this mic in.
Let
me just get ready for
this. I don't think men are inherently nice people. I think that men are very selfish. And I do think that that as women, we have to pander to what men want, ultimately. And I have my gripes with it, but I've accepted it. Is what it is. And one of the things that has come up quite a few times in different conversation this week with different men is whether or not men genuinely love their partners. I have a theory that men have this inherent want to leave a legacy.
Okay.
And that legacy is normally children. They want people to have their name, carry on their legacy, right? And so they know that they can't have children themselves. So the only thing that men feel they need women for is to host
Procreate.
and bear their kids. And so that is the core reason why men have us in their life. Yeah. Have us in their life because the narrative online is there's men that are saying, forget relationships. Focus on making my money, focus on me. There's that group. There's a group of men that are saying, you know what? I don't want to get married. I just want to have children. And then there's the few, it seems, that actually want to be married and have a family in like the stereotypical nuclear type of way. And that's what got me thinking, men don't feel like they need us unless it's to have kids. And because they know they can have kids now without the family bit, that's why we don't see many guys trying to get into a relationship. So once they got the kid.
But men could always have kids without a family. What stopped men from having kids without a family before?
I think before, the way society was constructed, it was, you're not even a respectable man if you're not married. If you look at like American politics, for example, when they're doing their
filtering
political campaign,
you have to be married.
You've got to be married.
I think you have to be married and have kids
and have kids. And in the world of work, like corporate and stuff, the men that tend to go up the ladder quickly are the ones that are married, children, because they see it as you're a respectable man. So the way social construct was before was if you have a woman and kids, you are more respectable as a man. Nowadays, that's not what makes you respectable per se. It's the idea of, does he have money? That's what people place respect. That's what people judge respect by. Like, can we respect him? Yes or no? It's because he's got money. He's got status. So I think now men have clocked the game. Like, I don't even have to like tolerate women. I just have enough for them. Just let them have children for me, and that's it. And I focus on me and my money. I don't have to tolerate having a woman in my house. I don't have to tolerate dating them. I don't have to like that. That's the narrative I'm seeing a lot more now online.
And you're asking, do men even like women?
Do men even like women? Do they actually like us?
I think there's so many different types of women that it's a loaded question.
Of course it's loaded. It came from me. It's always a loaded question when it comes from me.
But do men like women? Based on what I'm seeing online, I don't know. It's very 50-50. I'd say when I was growing up, I'd say definitely. Everything that I remember from my childhood was very much geared towards black men dating black women and this whole black family and da. So I feel like I've embodied that, even though I'm not like some Pan-Africanist. Like I've definitely embodied that. Those values are within me. I always find women attractive. I'm always into what women are doing. You know what I mean? Without it being necessarily a pursuit thing. I'm like, oh my gosh, like she's beautiful, babe. Like look at that. Like we'll talk about it. I'm very much here for it, and certain times I'm like, oh man, like I wish she met someone like so and so. But like, and I'm like matchmaking people without even pushing them, because like I already see the things that won't work and would work. But I very much, I guess, support relationships and the pursuit of relationships. But in the main, I think it's 50-50 because I don't see it reciprocated much either. Especially as a man who's taken not even on the market. I feel like so much critique I receive from not my partner just for being a man and being black is like,
by who?
By the in the culture, by black women, but like in the culture, in the media space.
So what sort of critique have you received?
It's the whole point of what I'm supposed to be doing, what I'm bringing to the table, how much I should be earning, my height.
Is that why you always get at me about height?
No,
Okay.
at all. I don't take it personally from you. We're you know what I
we're
mean.
jesting.
But how much I should be paying, or what I shouldn't and should be paying for, all of this stuff. Like it's a very demand led conversation, and that's not what I grew up seeing black women like. So it's very unappealing.
Yeah. No, I definitely think that, because you could ask the question the other way: do women actually like men? Right. And I'll find that hard to answer, because I can say I do, but I don't know about everyone. So in no way am I expecting you to answer the question for every single
Of course,
man.
of course.
But I guess for me, I'm realizing my whole prelim where I was talking about men inherently want to continue their legacy, and the way in which they know they can do that is to have kids.
Yeah.
And it's really got me thinking, because I've got a friend who has a child. He's a single dad. He's co-parenting. And he was talking about how he doesn't really care if he gets into a relationship now, because he's got a child.
Yeah.
If he didn't have one, before he even had the child, he was more
pressured and...
Not pressured, but he was more...
Oh, sorry, like determined.
Determined to meet someone and get into a relationship. Now that he's got a child, he's like, you know what, it's fine, I've got a child. He would like a son, but he's got a child. If it ends there, at least he's got another child. At least he's created another life.
Yeah.
So to him, he's cool.
I think I'd be probably the same, actually.
And it reminded me of the men who I've dated in the past that have said, I don't really want to get married, but I want to have children. They put children before marriage, or children before getting into a relationship. When I compare those men to the women that I speak to, who are more like, I want children, yeah, but they want a relationship first. So in their mind, the hierarchy of wants is relationship, then kids. Not I can do the kids and forget the relationship. But with men, it's like kids, then
I agree. I agree
and I
entirely.
wonder why that, and that's why I'm saying, do
Yeah.
men even really like us?
No,
Because
it's not.
really,
Yeah, it's not a lot.
it's more like, you know what? I feel like we've got to a point now where women are saying all these things about men, but they still want relationship.
Yeah.
They do want it, but they're saying all these things, and it's not. I'll be honest, girls, and I've said this before. Saying that is not going to help you get what you want.
It's not.
Because you're not going to attract men if you're talking badly about men all the time. If you're spreading hate and being mean and bullying men, why would they want to approach you? If you have a mindset that men are trash, they're going to see it from a mile off and avoid you. I hear that. I agree with that. I genuinely believe that. But at the same time, I still think those women want relationships.
Oh, of course they do.
But the men don't.
I don't think
the
men don't.
I feel like men, if they once they got the kid, they don't need it. And I mean,
No.
do you know what I mean? They're like, oh, I don't need to tolerate women like that.
I'm saying I agree.
That's
I agree
scary
with it.
though.
Yeah, but I think the reason why is because less and less. Not that it has necessarily changed over the years. Maybe this has always been the way that men have thought. Because I think men go into relationships in those situations thinking about their whole family. Like, I've never looked at a girl and left her for any other reason than I actually can't see a family with you. Like,
Okay.
like it's not necessarily just the kids, but I'm like, yeah, but then that's our house and that's us and everything. And I'm like, no. Sometimes I've been wrong about who that person was. Like, I'm just judging someone as I meet them, and then years later, I'm like, you've turned out to be a really lovely person, actually. Good for you. You know what I mean? I was wrong. It's not the end of the world for me, but good for you that you've leveled up in that way or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think that is really important in terms of actually just the way men think. Maybe it's a difference, but it's definitely... I'm definitely always thinking about my family and the family that I'm going to create. And like, how is the situation that I'm in now going to affect the family I'm going to create? How's like everything is to do with family and nothing is to do with like an individual. And maybe that's the difference between the men and the women. I do look at the woman as being significant, but only to a certain degree, because she plays a part. Like, this is her part. And this is what her part then results in.
And that's what I'm saying. You've just explained it in a different way. That's why I explain that as, or the way I see that as, is I want family, which is the legacy, right? She's not necessarily part of that. She is part of the making of that.
Oh, what's yeah?
Do
To
you see
me,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah. So that's what you need her for. If you could have that family without her, you would go ahead and do it without her.
But women would do the same. If
I don't
everyone
think
could
so,
be...
because women, what I'm trying to tell, this is what I'm trying to say, that I think that women inherently see it as relationship first. I want a man. The family comes after that. You're talking to a woman who wants kids, yeah?
And you're talking to a married man.
Right. You're talking to a woman who wants kids. I'm talking about as a woman. I'm not.
No.
I'm talking about the woman's perspective here. That's why
yeah.
I prefaced it with that. As someone who wants children, fundamentally, I know I'm a mum. It's going to happen somehow. It might not be my own kids. But I'm going to be someone's mum, right? I've known that since I was a child. But I also know that, to me, having the husband comes first. That's the most important thing to me. So if I had the husband and didn't end up having my own kids, I'd be all right with
no
that.
problem.
That's okay, because I've got a life partner, and that's the more important thing for me. Despite the fact that I want kids so much, I think with men it's the other way around. That's what I'm trying to say. And I feel like, as a woman, that's not always nice to know, that actually, if they could do it without you, they would. Whereas I feel like I don't want to do this without the man, but they feel like they can do it without me. Do you get it? So that's the bit that's like, oh nah, that's a bit... Do they even like us really? Or is it just they like us because we're a means to getting what they want, which is the kids and the family?
But I guess it just depends on the guy, because the relationship in itself is a means to building a family. It just depends where you put your focus, because if you put your focus too much on any one part, then other parts will fail.
Yeah.
So if you put too much onus on the woman being, I don't know, this specific thing that you're interested in or whatever, then you also wouldn't get to the point of finding the right woman. Much as if you put too much emphasis on the well-being of the family or making the family, then the relationship with the woman would fail.
Yeah.
I think now, maybe a lot of guys just look at women as being the difficult creatures that they are. We're both difficult creatures, but from a man's perspective, women are difficult creatures. And they see how freely the women of the previous generation have had kids and been single moms and champion this like it's some kind of accolade to do.
That's a
So,
whole, as in...
but from the perspective of a man who sees that,
I know.
then it's like, well, so then
what's the point?
What is the big deal with?
It's not the
Like if I find someone who I find like attractive, and I think she's got this, and she'll benefit from my support, and she ain't gonna give me headache and blah blah blah.
And this is the problem, because I've had guys approach me with that and be like, I know that you'd make a great mom. You know, you make good money, you're responsible, you're da-da-da-da. I know that you'd make a great mom. So I don't but I don't want a relationship. So if we were doing our thing and you fell pregnant, I know that we'd be cool. Yeah. I don't see that as, that's not
game, bro.
To me, I'm like, do you think you're spitting game right now? Do you think you're impressing me by telling me that? Do you think that sounds appealing to me? That's a threat, bro.
Yeah, that's
because you're encroaching on my potential freedom, because you're seeing, oh, this girl, she does what she, you know what I mean? Like, I've seen something in her that makes me think she wouldn't even give me hassle. She wouldn't even hassle me like that. She's cool.
Yeah, no. That's
Do you think that it sounds nice to hear that? That, oh no, like, you're good enough to bear my kids, but I wouldn't want, you're not good enough for me to be with. But I know that you make a great mom. So if something happened, it's cool. I want you to have my kid. No, don't miss me with that.
But
see what I'm saying?
So it's that will get girls, you know,
gassed.
in I think in our parents' generation, that would have been a winner right there.
Oh God, but it would have been, but it would have been with the presumption that he's going to marry me, though.
No, I think sometimes it was the reputation of the man that would determine how you felt about it. Yeah, because who was I talking to? They were talking to me about. So who was a sex symbol? Shizen, I can't remember the conversation now, but
is it a guy?
Yeah, someone was a sex symbol, and I was like, I don't know why he's a sex symbol. He's not attractive like that.
Yeah.
And then they said, oh yeah, but Shabba Ranks, and I was like, okay, true, but Shabba Ranks could have had bare baby mamas just by telling women, oh, I want you to have my baby, and they would have done it because he was a sex symbol.
Yeah, but he's a celeb. We can't compare celebs to like everyday people.
People have that same status in a relative ranking.
If I socially. I always talk about my parents, but like just looking at my parents, they were together. My dad said to my mom, this is how she tells the story. He told my mum that I will marry you, but I want to know that I want you to have my baby. I want you to get pregnant.
Yeah,
first.
I need you to. First. Okay.
Like I want you to have my babies. And my mom was like, well, you said you're going to marry me. So if I have your babies, I know that I'm cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, they got married whilst my mom was pregnant with me. And you know, that worked for them. But if a guy said that to me today, I'd be like, no, I don't want to get pregnant first before you.
No, but that's because you don't trust them, though. That's because you don't trust them.
Because I don't trust them, but also it's like, no, you're basically telling me you think I'm a great woman, but the only reason why you'd marry me is because I can give you kids. Why can't it just be because it's me? Do you get it?
Yeah, no, I hear you entirely.
And it's because fundamentally you want children and you see me as the vehicle that's going to get you that. And unless you get that, you're not going to want me, no matter how good I am.
Yeah, to a degree. It's less that you're the vehicle that's going to bring me that, and more that is a part of you that I'm expecting. So I guess in the case of your dad, he was saying, okay, yeah, I like you. It's you the one that I want. Yeah. But I also need this assurance that the next step that I want is also guaranteed.
Yeah.
Which is to me how I see it.
And that's how a man is gonna see it. Do you get it?
Yeah, because it's very much less about it. If it was a given that women could have babies, indefinitely, kind of like how men can produce sperm indefinitely, and there's never a complication, there's never a woman that can exist that with any infertility issues.
Yeah.
Likewise for men, then it wouldn't be a conversation. It wouldn't become this thing of like, okay, cool, so I need to check, or I
think it would be, because there's loads of women that that might not even want to have children at all.
Yeah, but that would be the only conversation. Do you want to have kids? Yeah, cool.
No, then no.
Yeah, and then they'll be like, oh, okay, well, I do, so somebody else.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Which is fine, because somebody be like, oh, do you want to buy your own house? No, I do. Okay, cool, someone else.
I think I think fundamentally that men only really want women for children. And I think that the argument that men can make is that women want men for financial stability, which I can agree, because that's like the like for like, right? That bit I think comes from women who don't intend to, or who cannot fend for themselves.
Yeah.
So they want a man to do that for them. If you're a woman who can do it for herself, then you're not looking for the man to do that for you. You're looking for a man to just be himself, so that and me to be myself, and we just love each other for that.
But the thing is, we bring different things, so you can't expect a man to want you for the same reasons that you want him.
No. I'm not saying exactly the same things. In general, I'm talking about the sentiment. The sentiment behind it is I would want whoever I end up with to want me for me, not because of what he can get from me, which is these children that he wants. Because I'm not looking to him because of finances.
But if you're in a long-term relationship with someone that's like clearly chosen you, then they do want you
because they want something, and it's the babies.
No. I feel like you've like almost created a scenario where
not really, because remember I said it's based off of conversations I've had with
No, I'm not disagreeing, because I'm saying I agree to a degree, but what I'm saying is I think you've created a scenario in which you cannot get what you want, if you know what I mean. Because a guy is always gonna want, not necessarily some guys don't want kids. Some guys already have kids, and they still seek out partners not to have more kids.
To help them with the kids that they've already got.
No.
Okay.
Because sometimes the single mums got it all patterned. I don't know any guys. I
think that's rare.
I've never been in that scenario, but I don't know guys that like have a new girl and then get the new girl to look after their kids, and that's the reason why they got a new girl. I don't know that. But what I'm saying is some guys really want a partner. That's why guys are infatuated with women. Like when you're infatuated with a woman, it's got nothing to do with kids. That's literally just your attraction to her, and it's an unstable attraction to the point where you're like, wow, everything about it, I don't know what it is, you're just obsessed. That's not to do with trying to breed her up. It's a more logical attraction that is like, okay, cool. So then like we can do this, let's date,
But I don't think older men have that.
Older men?
I feel like when we were younger, then because women women get infatuated as well for no reason. And you grow up and you're like, that guy was a bum. What the hell was I thinking? It happens, But I'm saying as you get older, you do start to look at relationships from a more logical standpoint. And I feel like older mature men don't look at relationships from an infatuation standpoint. They look at it as I'm at this stage of my life. I'm at this stage of my life now, and basically, this is what I want. So how am I gonna get that? I can't get it on my own.
I think the way it splits is when you get older, you look at relationships in two ways, or you look at women in two ways.
Yeah,
it's either I am just sexually attracted to her and she's not really the right character for my life, but I'm attracted, and you execute on that attraction, or you're like, this girl, I really like what she's got going on. She's a nice person. I like her. I think she'll get on with my mum, my sister. Like, I think we can build a life together. And then you check. So can we build a life together beyond just us? Yeah? Cool. Because, at some point, you're going to now start thinking about the next part. And if that's not patterned, it's just going to mean that the things that you already patterned are going to start to fall apart because you didn't do that check, and you want this. Like, that next part is important to you, even if it's not to her. Which is why people always ask. I think men are so focused on the whole thing, and women are very much what's happening right now between us. And I think that is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. They're just two different perspectives.
Yeah.
But ultimately, that's what leads to a collapse later on.
You think so?
Yeah, it can.
I think if I'm saying that I would want a family, I want a family. I think when you ask the right questions in the beginning, you can come to find out what her mindset is for the future.
Of course.
It's just that we're not staying in thinking about the future the whole time.
Yeah.
So I think it's more not asking the right questions that leads to a collapse, as opposed to the differences in mindset or differences in approach to the mindset. You want kids, I want kids, fine, but I'm more thinking about you and I now. You're more thinking about the future. Won't create a collapse because we want the same thing fundamentally.
Yeah.
The issue is when you start doing that thing that I was talking about last week, where you have a certain mindset and a certain way about how you want your life to go, and you're trying to force someone who doesn't. That's when there's problems.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think I like to understand men's mindset, so I understand my positioning. And I think it was a bit of a wake-up call speaking to a few people this week, and it was like a reoccurring thing that I kept hearing.
Yeah.
I mean, if I got kids, I don't need the woman. It's like, right, okay, so is that all we're here for, to have the babies for you? Like,
no, it's just.
And that's why I brought up.
Thing.
That's why I brought up but men can say, is it just because you want financial stability? Is that all you want me for? And I get it.
I've never really considered, like,
what
does a woman want from me per se?
Like, yeah.
Other than the fact that, he's cool, he's funny, whatever. But, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, outside of looking good.
Yeah, but I mean,
being
even that will
somewhat
fade.
smart.
Even that will fade.
And being smart. I've never really thought about what would a man want from me.
Being smart will become,
never fade.
It can fade if you're not up to the time. Then you're no longer smart. Like, and your personality. I mean, I think everybody thought that they were on it. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, everyone thinks they're on trend.
Everybody, as in all our parents and everything, and then you just wake up one day and you're like, "Bruh, what are they talking about?"
I'm stuck in the past.
You know what I mean? And now you're not smart anymore, depending on where your smarts lay. Like, maybe your smarts was being tapped into the culture and being able to just, you know what I mean,
I'm
shift.
talking actual intellect. I'm not talking.
Yeah, but that's an intellect. Being able to shift with the culture might be the crux of your business. That might be what generates your. I don't know. It depends, but yeah, it's an interesting one. But I don't think that the majority of men are, like, thinking about life without women, because I don't think the majority of men are trying to become mothers either. And I don't think they're also trying to become absent fathers either. I think most men want to be active participants in their child's life, like, for the whole of it, not like from the weekends.
I don't know, because like I said, online, like social media, like I saw a video recently where this guy was saying how by 2040, 50% of women will be single or more because men are not seeking relationships anymore. And I was like, rah. Women, as much as women tell you men are trash, they still want a guy. Do you know what I mean? They still want someone. But to hear from a man that men don't want relationships anymore, don't you think that's scary?
I mean, I have a friend. He's like one in. Well, actually, it depends what friends I'm counting. But he's one of, like, many guys. But he's only one. But he said to me, "Yeah, no, I'm not, like." And I'm like, "But brother, you're like a good-looking guy, you know."
Like, why not?
And he's like, "Yeah, I don't need, like, the stress."
See?
Because outside of, you know, physical pursuits, he's encountered a lot of stress. And I'm like, yeah, I get that. But then that's why they say this is a good character, because that's why they used men who are married with kids as a judgment of good character. Because never in history has it ever been easy. Never in history has it ever not been a compromise to the man standing as an individual.
Even the woman, though.
Yeah, but I'm expressing as a man, it's a compromise.
Yeah.
As a single man, there's literally nothing you can't do, whereas men have always stipulated limits on what women can do. whether you see. But as a man, it's only compromise because now you're compromised by the fact that you have a wife and children. So you're doubly dependable. You're accountable to another human being, and you have
more responsibility.
Human beings depending on you. So you are a compromised individual, and you've chosen that. That means you must be of a certain.
Yeah.
And that's why that was used as a merit.
Yeah.
So if we're in a position where, you know what I mean, our resources are abundant and casual sex is the most casual it's ever been, yada, 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 and people don't necessarily even desire kids that much because they've got siblings or, you know what I mean? There's
financially taxing and...
So then they get to the point where they're like, well, then why do I want a relationship? What's the point? I'm making myself have limitations. So what am I gaining?
I'm not going to lie. I felt like that at one point. I was like, I'm a single woman. Like I said, I live independently. I'm looking after myself. I don't rely on anyone to eat or anything. I get up when I want to. I go gym when I want to. I go holiday when I want to. I do what I like when I like. And if I got married, if I had a husband and kids right now, I won't be able to do that. I'd be having to look after the kids. I'd be the primary caregiver because normally the woman is. I'd have to be somewhat the traditional wife because that's what is expected of you when you are a wife. I wouldn't have the energy that I have now. My health might be in jeopardy because once women have kids, it affects their health, all sorts of things. And I started thinking, do I want that life for myself? Because I'm also compromising. I'm also giving into this. It's not easy for women. Bearing of the kids alone, not to speak of looking after them. And then today's day and age, your husband's not going to be he's not going to be the only one bringing money into the house. You also got to work. So on top of being a mom and looking after this big kid, because that's what men are, no offense, I'm looking after him, looking after the kids, looking after the house. Then I got to work. Do I want to do that when it could just be me? Do you see it? So I fell into that. But then at the same time, I was like, yeah, but what is the point of having life if you're not sharing it with someone? Because it's boring. You can go out and do all this, but don't you want someone to share your life with? Because everyone's going through stuff. Like, and it hit me this year. Prior to this year, I was about to be one of those girls. You know what? It's all right. I don't need it because it's a lot.
Yeah.
As much as it's taxing for a man because you're accountable to someone, you're responsible, it's just as taxing on a woman to be in a marriage and be a mother, right? So I was like, do I want to do that? Nah, I'm living good, you know? And then when I was going through the stuff that I've been going through this year, I was like, not that my life would be easier, but at least I'd have someone
to catch
that I'm going through this with, you know? And I was like, yeah, this whole being by yourself is not the one.
When I was at the podcast show, it was funny because this was the theme of part of our conversation that we was having sort of to the side. And basically the people in the conversation with me were expressing that it would be nice to have a partner because then you have that support or you have someone on your team. And it is important. I was talking it down because I was the only person, I believe I was the only married person in that particular conversation. But I was just trying to also explain that you can't expect your partner to be all the things that you feel like you're missing. But you are right. It is there is an underlying level of support that is just not existent. If
it just doesn't exist. Like even during COVID, I had COVID in not the one where we were that same year. I had COVID in January. So in 2021, I had COVID in January, December 2020, and into January 2021. I live alone, and that COVID was the worst. Like that was when COVID was like
the real deal, unfiltered.
And there was nights where, like, you live by yourself. Food, you have to source that yourself. You got to cook yourself. You got to upkeep the house yourself. That was taxing. And then there was like at night, if I just can't breathe and I keel over right here, right now.
Yeah, no
there's
one's
no
know
one
until,
to know until someone thinks, let me check on Dami, right? And that was really humbling. Because you can be independent, man or woman, you can be like, just me. But when you're in those situations, you're like, yo, I have no one. You've got family, you've got friends, yeah, but everyone's got their own.
They're doing their own thing.
You can't expect them to be that person for you. Do you get it? And I remember when I came out of it, gosh, I'm feeling a little bit emotional about it. But when I came out of it, my dad sat me down and he was like, you're really strong. Because he got COVID shortly after me. But he's got his wife.
Yep.
He's like, at least I got so and so and so and so. So yeah, that was hard. And then again, like this year, going through something slightly different and having an issue and feeling like, right, it's just me here. Even if I call my friends, like they're not
they're
like
not
that.
gonna
Call my mum. She's got her own thing. Do you know what I mean? It's hard. So yeah, I've always been an advocate of you want companionship.
Yeah, you definitely do need to
for
have
you
a companion
outside of everything else, kind of thing. But yeah, I get why. Yeah, it's sad hearing some men say that. It's really sad.
Say
they don't want anything.
Yeah, it's because
sad.
they haven't. It's not because they haven't. It's because they either haven't experienced that level of companionship in a woman, and they have men available. Because essentially, my wife has taken over the space that was there that my bros used to fill, but they've moved on in their lives. We've all moved on gradually. But then that's the space that she occupies. So if you still have bros doing that, then you technically, so long as you're not gonna lose them, to a degree, don't need someone to then fill that space. Depending on what space they fill.
That works if all of you are doing up independent.
Yeah.
The moment they start having their own family, you're just left on the wayside by yourself, and then you're like, rah. My issue don't matter to them like that because they got their own thing with their own. Yeah. Anyway, I think we need to move because I saw my guy.
Oh yeah, we gone past. Yeah. Boom.
Guys, I do have a shout out.
You do indeed.
I have a shout out. I need to get the name of the shout out. So this is someone that's been listening to us from day dot, you know. Is it Narco 186?
It's Nayoka. I think it's
Nayoka. Is that how we pronounce it? Sorry, we're butchering it.
I think
the name's on the screen.
They said something about CNI, which was City in Islington.
Okay.
So I think it's Nayoka that I know from City in Islington is who I'm thinking.
Okay. Well, they left a lovely comment saying that they've been supporting us from day one. And we just wanted to give you a shout out. Thank you so much for supporting us. It means a lot to us. If you want to shout out like them, all you got to do is subscribe, leave a comment, let us know that you exist, and we will shout you out. Likewise, if you have any business or any ventures that you're doing that you would like to have shouted out on some sort of platform, let us know. We'd be happy to do that.
And please leave me a DM as well. Off to Nayoka and to anybody else who wants to shout out, just so I know that I'm thinking of the right person.
Yeah. Well, we don't know everyone. I mean, he might do.
I feel like I know everyone, you know what I mean? And if I don't, I want to. I like knowing you, so hit man up on the ting.
I mean, hit us up on the ting. And until next week, guys.
Peace.